Hi, it is iYikKam time again. So today I'd like to share with you the 4 fundamental level of Wing Chun Kin technology. So why do you need this? Well, it is critical. You need this because, as we know, from General Chi Chi Guang and all these fightings, the core of it is momentum. Okay? And in order for one to be able to play with momentum, one needs this 4 fundamental level of Wing Chun Kin technology developed. Without this 4 fundamental level of Wing Chun Kin technology, one cannot play momentum adequately. Okay. So this is a kind of prerequisite. If you want to play with the momentum, you need that. So I'm going to share with you more on what happened, okay, in details. Now, let me share with you this first, because all this I want to do it in the logical order so that at the end of this video you know what's going on. So there are many friends who have messaged me asking me what is my agenda on making up this or presenting this videos for everybody, both in the East and the West and everything. I want to deal with this question today. Okay, I want to answer today. People who know me know that I am a design engineer or architect for the power management, electronics, or silicon or chips design. Okay, so my job is to solve problem, to find a solution so that it is workable, it be able to be get into productions. Okay, so I develop technology, and in Wing Chun, actually, I'm taking the same role. Okay, I'm a design engineer, an engineer. My job is to solve problem, to provide solution, to make everybody's life better. Okay, that is my role. People who know me around, who is around me, know that I don't like to be called Sifu. I don't like to be called Master, Grandmaster, all those kind of stuff. Okay, I'm an engineer. My job is solving problem and provide solutions so that everybody benefit. Okay, now Wing Chun, from the 7-bow, 6 core element, 13 state, and now the 4 fundamental level of Wing Chun Kin technology, and the 4 momentum zone, such as the long fist, the short strike, the takedown, the ground fight zone. All these are solutions which I share with everybody, and I make it an open source so that everybody can use it. Okay, so that it's like the computer software is open source. Okay, and everybody can use it, like Linux, everybody can use it. Okay, it's open source, provided people don't go and change it. For example, now people using the term 6 core element or force flow. Okay, if you want to know what is exactly force flow or 6 core element is about, I have defined it in the book Basic Ancient Wing Chun Kin Art and Science. Okay, as soon as everybody follow that, I have no problem with it. There are people who wrote book about using my six core element, and I never want to get my lawyer to go against them, or I didn't ask for royalty. Okay. However, I want everybody to know, if you have any doubt of whatever people said, go read whatever I say in my book, because this is an open source. Okay. Like the software that is an open source, everybody can develop on top of it, so everybody have a standard reference. Because what I develop is to helping us all in Wing Chun to solve problem, to have a solution. I'm not going to support anybody to use my stuff for their own benefit or for their own money-making scheme. If they teach properly and they get compensation, that's fine with me. But if they distorted it and are twisting around, like if people say, "Oh, I know six core element too," I say that's bullshit. Okay, I developed that and I define that clearly. So don't mislead people. Okay, those are unacceptable. But if people present it properly, I have no problem with that. You want to make $1 billion from that, there's no problem. But the requirement is present properly, because I do not want anybody screw up my solution. Okay? They don't have right to that. I can send my patent lawyer to go against them, or the legal to go against them. Okay? But that's what I said. As soon as everybody follow the rule, be public-minded. Okay? Don't screw around thinking that you can get over from it. You can. Okay. So my agenda is this: provide solutions so that everybody can evolve Wing Chun better. Okay. That's the agenda. Now, I don't look at the Chinese martial arts or Wing Chun as what usually people think about it and so forth, because as you all know, I dig into history. As the recent video I make, the technological facts of Wing Chun Queen evolution in details. Whatever the fact is there, so there's no legend and there's no stories and there's no who's more authentic. And we know very clearly it is a traceable technology. Okay. Now, speaking on technology, and which that's the reason why I have the 6 core element, the 13 state, the 7 bowls, the 4 level of technology, all this stuff, because I want it to be able for you all to synthesize it or to analyze it. That way it's going to save you time and get learning and to improve yourself much more effective with a very low cost. You don't have to guess for a lifetime on something simple. Okay, that's why I put all this thing in a systematic way and a scientific way. Now, in terms of technology, let me share with you this. Chinese martial art is a technology. It's not myth. Okay? And for example, we take General Qi Guang, 1560s. Okay? So a few years prior to that, the Ming army, 20,000 of Ming army, fighting 1,000 Japanese pirates for months and still cannot do anything about it. 20,000 Ming Dynasty army versus 1,000 Japanese pirates. And then you get into general Qi Ji Guang. Okay? Reform the thing, modernize the things, organize the thing in a very scientific way. And the result is what? In the battle, his achievement is his army destroyed 1,000 Japanese pirates, only have 3 casualties. That's on records. So you look at that General Qi Ji Guang, it's like in terms of efficiency, it's like minus 2,000%, minus 2,000%. And when it get to General Qi Ji Guang after reform, it become 99.7%. So you get from minus 2,000% to 99.7%. Because General Qi Ji Guang treat it as a technology. Okay? And so, if you follow what I'm talking about, the 7 bowls, the 6 core element, 13 state, and now the 4 level of Wing Chun King technology, your effectiveness and the efficiency is going to skyrocket up. Okay? And if 500 years ago, General Qi Ji Guang can do it, we can do it today, as soon as we know what it is. And another thing, I like to tell you one thing. Okay? 20 years ago, if you say that, oh yeah, you're going to build computer the way how we like it at our home, well, people say, well, it's not possible. You don't have the technology yet. But you know what, today? This is a Raspberry Pi. Everybody can buy this and build their own computer at home. And in fact, there's a lot of mom, because their kid, like me, have diabetic type 1, they bought this and they built the gadget that they can track their kids' blood sugar via connecting via their cell phone and those kind of things. So they're building computer. This is the Raspberry Pi, and everybody in engineering knows this. And then this is the Arduino. This is a controller, same thing. And if you don't like, you say, well, I don't like PC board, you can get something like that. Controller, computer, those things. Okay? So you even have magazine like that. You can build your own stuff. This is technology. 20 years ago, it cannot be done this way. And you know, this thing is cheap. Okay, the Raspberry Pi is $99 and you can do a lot of things with it. Okay? So, ask the question. What stopped us, Wing Chunner, from a very ineffective learning and development of our Wing Chun Kung Fu? What stopped us? If 500 years ago, General Qi Ji Guang can raise from minus 2,000% to 99.7% of efficiency, and the computer today, everybody can build at their home, okay? And by the way, this is open source. That's why I mentioned to you, open source. Everybody follow a rule. It is open source. Everybody is compatible. Okay, that's why just now when I told you guys that I'm not going to go after anybody who using my information, but if you screw it up, I'm going to go after you, because it is like this computer, DIY computer, everything. Okay, don't screw other people. Okay, don't screw the system, because this is for everybody. Okay, not for anybody's selfish agenda. Okay, so today we are in this type of society. It's about technology. Okay, so Wing Chun, as I show in the technological facts of Wing Chun evolution in details, we know exactly what it is. It's no more myth. Okay, so that's why I go this technology path, and I provide you solutions and platform. Okay, solving the problem. You take it, like all this computer stuff, you work with it, you play with it, you evolve with it. Okay, so make better for other people. You say, okay, because you're teaching, you need some compensation. Yes. You know what? Because we have this open source, it starts even more business for everybody. And for example, for this, if you're using my platform, okay, the 613.3, the 7 bowls, the 4 fundamental level of technology, you get result, you're going to go even better business. And you can be making $1 billion, I don't care. It's like the people who invented this, like a Raspberry Pi and so forth, right? If you want to contribute back for their software development or anything, fine. But if you don't, if you make money, fine. Provided everybody have the same rule, okay? Not screwing around and distort the whole thing. Now that's about technology. That's why it is important for you to see what I'm coming at, okay? What I'm working at. Now, let's look into the Chinese martial arts. For past 100 years, until April 27, 2017, when that Tai Chi guy in China, the supposed to be a lineage creator, okay, get killed by the MMA, Chinese MMA player. It's always a problem. As we know, from Sun Tzu 2000 something years ago down to General Qi Guang, it is always about momentum play. And then somehow it get into about 100 years ago, it suddenly get into this internal art stuff, and then it just shift the focus into this Qi, Jing, and all this stuff, okay? And it led to today's, the April 27th result. So is that Qi and Jing and stuff is real? Now let me tell you one thing. Back in 1931, that era, that is already a problem. If you look at the history at that time, a Grandmaster Ma Li Tang at that time, he was the student of the Xing Yi Grandmaster, and then he also a student of Dr. Sun Yat-sen, you know, the father of the modern China. He is this guy Tu Xingwu. Okay, so he's the Sifu of the Ma Li Tang. Okay, Grandmaster Ma Li Tang. Tu Xingwu is the bodyguard of the father of the modern China, and this Tu Xingwu is a big guy. So what happened is that he was with reform in Qing dynasty, and his friend who is trying to make China modernized get beheaded by the last emperors, and he, Tu Xingwu, went assassin the emperors. He failed, he fled to Japan, And that's why he's supporting the modern father of China, Sun Yat-sen. He's become his bodyguard, and so forth. So these are real people. So at 1931, Ma Li-tang already at that time have groups of people working with groups of Chinese martial art. Their job is what? To take away or to demystify all those crazy stuff, okay? And then also to make sure that Chinese traditional martial art be able to strengthen the body and be able to fight, instead of just showing show business like I put in the opera, okay? So at 1931, it's already that happened. And that it break into two groups at that time, because the group with Ma Li-tang said, no way, okay? And at that time, there's a whole bunch of challenge to the Chinese, okay? You can read about the history. So all the so-called internal art and all those things exist 100 years ago. And Grandmaster Ma Li-tang actually know all those, like the internal art grandmaster like Sun Lu-tang, all these people. Read history. So he know what is there inside out, but at that time he said he need to reform, okay? He need to evolve the Chinese martial art. Not all this lineage stuff, or my lineage is better than your lineage, I'm more superior than your lineage, I have this magic chi power, those kind of BS, okay? So 1931, already that. But then as you know that Chinese turned into the chaotic internal war and so forth, so forth, so forth. And later Ma Li-tang even been put into the jail in the Cultural Revolution, and then he passed away and so forth, so forth, so forth. Now, 100 years later today, if they cannot do it in the East, we do it in the West. Okay? Because we want to deal with technology, we don't want to deal with religions. How real is that all your, like the guy who got beat up by this MMA guy in China, he showed in TV that he could put bird in his hand, okay, and then he can smash a watermelon or something, some kind of melon, and then internally damage and those kind of things, and the jing and all those kind of things. But it's only worth what? A few seconds to get KO by the MMA practitioner who know momentum. And this guy doesn't know momentum. Look at his video, okay? And then thereafter, you can see how is all this internal and qi and jing stuff happen in China. So people now doubt about that thing. Young generation just totally saying, well, no way, okay? So the reason I mention this to you is to tell you that enough is enough. Wing Chun is a good art. Wing Chun is really solid. Wing Chun based on Qi Ji Guang. Wing Chun evolved down to Shaolin, evolved down to the Red Bolt, and using in the Red Bolt uprising. And Wing Chun is always a very down-to-earth stuff. There's no room for those mysterious stuff. Okay. So sharing you with this, let's get into the four fundamental level of Wing Chun King technology. Why do I need that? Why do I right now call this level 2C, 3B, 4A, 5A? Actually, just I have a few incidents already. People who practice internal art got problem with their knee, cannot breathe with the dantian, even though they think, and so forth, so forth. And then I use the same thing and it solved the issue overnight. Okay? And they asked me, why do you call this 2C, 3B? I said, you know what? Forget about the Xing Qi to dantian and all this and that stuff. Why? Because you guys argue for for decades, and you still hurting your knee, and you still breathing like that, your body is still fragmented. That's what I told them. And right now I say this is 2C, this is 3B, this is 4A, this is 5A, period. I don't want to get into those, oh, you know, my chi is better than your chi. My force flow is better than your force flow. My internal art is more older than yours. But what do you sell? Can you have a Raspberry Pi that every mom can buy it and do something good for their family? Or you just say, oh, listen to me, I am the grandmaster. Bow to me. Okay? And then you just bow to me, you believe me. Well, that is not technology. There's no result there. Okay? So, the 4 level of Wing Chun technology before you can play with the momentum is this. This is very important. Okay? This has to work with the 6 core element, 13 states, 7 bowls, and the force flow. And right now I define this to you so you know which level you are. Okay? So the first level you need to attain, you need to achieve, okay, you need to develop serious like hell, okay, is the static, breath, and core physical integrations. 2C mean by the time you develop the 2C level, you'll be able to breathe with high capacity of oxygen. And your core, your body, can properly use your bone, your sinews, your tendon. Okay? So in one way, you're breathing. So it's just like, for example, if you are a car, you are an 8-cylinder car, now we need to use all the 8-cylinder. If you are 4-wheel drive, then all the 4-wheel drive has to be able to activate and sitting in the neutral gear. So that's 2C. So 2C is the neutral gear where all your 8-cylinder is right now operating and your 4-wheel drive is ready to go and you're in neutral gear. That is 2C. On top of the 2C is 3B. 3B is a dynamic of 2C. Okay, a dynamic of 2C. So 3B is like right now your 4-wheel drive is driving up to the mountain, down to the valley, going through ice, sand, everything. Okay, your car be able to drive that way dynamically. That is 3B. Okay. On top of the 3B, that is the 4A. The 4A level is right now you will develop the Wing Chun mechanics. Remember the retract, the torque with the 3B development on top of it already. And then on top of that, that is the 5A. 5A is where on top of the 4A you have the body work, body handling, the footwork handling, and the background momentum. That means when you move, you know your momentum, you know how to handle it. Okay? So there's 4 levels of them: 2C, 3B, 4A, 5A. Once you get that, is an example of you already fully trained on your 4-wheel drive, 8-cylinder 4-wheel drive. Now, you go for the momentum, be it the long fist range, short strike range, the takedown range, or going to the ground fighting range zone. You play with it. Okay. So you develop this 4 technology, this 4 level, you develop it, and then that's the ticket for you to play momentum. Okay, and I'm actually experimenting with this. Take people who don't know much about Wing Chun, who don't even know me. Just train them with this and see what is the result. Okay. So all the Xing Qi to Dan Tian, externally trained bone, tendon, muscle, internally trained breathing, footwork, body work, all this stuff is within that. Now, we heard a lot about the Xing Qi to Dan Tian, all this stuff. But tell me how many years, how many decades they get. You can hear from 1931 people talking about that a lot. Like this guy who got KO in April 27. He talked a lot of this thing in the CCTV. Okay, that you can watch in the YouTube how all this thing. But really, do you develop it? How many years have you spent? So with this right now, with this technology I have developed, do you need 50 years? No. 5 years? No. 5 months? No. 5 weeks? No. 5 days. With only 5 days, if you work on it, you will have a fundamental handling of it. You'll be able to know what is this 4 level. And of course, the more you practice, the more you get better. And after the 5 days, you can actually play with momentum. Then you can understand what it's about. Okay? Instead of guessing for 50 years, have no idea of this thing, have no systematic, and then have no idea how things piece together. Now, for 5 days, we can get this. And those in online can do it in 5 weeks. Okay? So that's what it is. And so, it's like this. 5 days, you know what exactly it is. You're going to play momentum, you know what exactly it is. And then the rest is your job. And if you like it, like you like this, then you can keep build different style and so forth, so forth, so forth. But you never get lost. Okay? You always have something. So let me tell you one thing about 2C. The first is 2C, the second is 3B, the third is 4A, the fifth is 5A. 2C. Many people, when I get them into that level, then they realize, they say, how come I don't know about this? I said, well, because you know all about your terminology, but you do not know what it is. And once you know this, you don't have to know terminology. That's why I tell you this 2C. It is not all this Chinese term. Because when they get into the 2C, the development, they say, oh, now I know what is this. I said, see, I don't even have to talk to you, tell you what is this. And you know what it is. Now you know what the ancient is described about. So 2C is what is the practice of usually in China, ancient China, it's like you practice 100 days standing in the horse stance. If you cannot get it, you stand another 100 days. And right now you don't. We are our technology, like this guy. You want to build a computer, just buy this, okay, and work a weekend, and then you can get there. You can get there. And as how good you are, of course, you're going to put mind in it. Okay, you can build a computer with this for programming. But if you want to get real good at it, you have to work a lot with it, right? If you love it, then you obviously you're going to do it because you get result. So this 4 level is the same. Now, if you don't have this 4 level and you go work with momentum, then you will have this, missing that, and all this kind of stuff. Okay. So this is what I like to share with you today. Remember, it's an open source, 7 bowls, 6 core element, 13 state. Now, join it is the 4 fundamental level. Okay, 4 fundamental level, or simply just call it 4 level. Okay, 7 bowl, 6 core element, 13 state, 4 level. You need this. If you have this, you will be able to play momentum much more smoothly. And the guy, any girl, okay, guy or girl, once they get into the 5A, you can see they transform how they use their body. And you can see their stamina change. Because it's a technology. Okay? And again, at the end, I say that this is the open source. And if you want to know anything exactly what I said about this thing, go read my book. Okay? Don't believe in anybody if they tell you, oh, I'm better than Hendrik on this and then Hendrik on that. Because it got nothing to do with Hendrik. It is about technology. It is like, I don't even know who invented this. But if I have issue, I don't understand, I go read books on the Raspberry Pi. Okay? And that's why nobody say, oh, I'm better than the inventor of this Raspberry Pi. Everybody go, look into the reference book, and then to get the thing done. Okay? So that's why I like Wing Chun to be. At least, you know, if you follow me, that's what I like to be. Get your reference book so that you can get result. Got nothing to do with me. This is not a grandmaster. You don't have to bow at me. Okay? I'm an engineer. The job of engineer is to solve problem and provide solution so that everybody can make use of it and make good for everybody. Okay? So this is for you today. That is what it is.